Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the UnLearnT podcast. I'm your host, Ruth Abigail, aka RA, and this is the podcast that is helping you gain the courage to change your mind so that you can experience more freedom. And as you all know, we're in our series, Unlearning Generation Z. So we've been talking to people who who either work with younger people or are younger people themselves. And today is no different. This is actually a really special episode because this young lady that I get to talk to today and that y'all get to hear from, I have known her since she was in third grade. And is that true? Third grade? That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And we got connected through Angel Street. And she has grown up into this incredible young woman. And that I absolutely love her, and y'all are gonna love her too. Her name is Tanaya Adams. Everybody, welcome Tanaya. Woo! Yay! All right. Woo woo woo. Okay, that's enough of that. So Tanaya. So we've been talking about just this next generation, right? Your generation, and really having to do some unlearning about making some assumptions about who you are, what you can do, what you believe, all this stuff. And you and I have had a ton of conversations about this. So first of all, I'd love to just kind of start off by asking, you're about to go into your second year of college. So you just graduated high school 2 years ago. And so you're entering into the world at this point. Like, you're kind of entering into the space where you're on your own. You're gonna be living on a college campus, all this stuff. What is it that you've been seeing differently even in this last year since you've been out of high school? How have you been seeing the world a little differently? What questions have you been asking that maybe you weren't asking before?
I've always been prepared, I'll say. Like, not prepared like in the real world, but like I had questions that like I'm now still trying to figure out. Especially like financial trouble. Like, I don't know how to do taxes. I don't know how to do taxes at all. So I'm having those questions. And trying to like figure out like my identity still. It's been like a roller coaster trying to find my identity.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, now you've introduced a new topic. All right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about identity. And when you say you're trying to find it, what do you mean?
I feel like there's like so many things that you can learn about yourself. And you have like, I want people say that it's like you have a little time to like figure it out. But it's like, I want to figure it out now. I want to figure out what I am now before I get like older, because I want to have myself together. Like, I want to be able to like find my purpose, figure out what I want to do in life, in order for me to like actually like move on to what that's like something that's bigger than what I am now. I'm just starting off, so
yeah. What makes you want to do it now? Like, what is, because I think that those of us that are older, I 100% had that same mentality. But it's like, sometimes it's hard to go back and be in that mindset, because you're like, you don't need to know now. You don't need to know now. And that's really easy for those of us who seem like we know, right? Like, and let me just, spoiler alert, most of us do not. Like, but it seems like that, because it's like, you've gotten to certain places in life or whatever. So what makes you want to know now? Like, why is it like, I don't want to wait, I want to write? Like, what's driving that?
I feel like I have a purpose. I believe everyone has a purpose.
Yeah.
So me being able to like understand that I've been put on this earth to have a purpose. I want to explore more with the identity that I've discovered. That's why I want to find my identity. I think it's really important to find your identity to see like the person that you actually are and purpose that aligns with that.
What's hard about finding your identity right now? Like, why is that hard?
This is like so like controversial when it comes to Gen Z people,
Uh-huh.
but I think we get influenced by social media a lot when we're finding our identity. It's like so tied in together, and I believe that's what's like hindering it because we see something on the internet and we think, oh, that relates to me. In reality, it doesn't. You just think that way because you're trying to be like socially involved. In reality, you're born to be different.
Hold on. We're gonna pause because that was a bar. You want to be socially involved, but in reality, you're born to be different. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Man, that's good. Because that's true. We're born to be different. You're not supposed to be the same. How have you struggled with that personally?
Ooh. Middle school. People were very different from me. I fit the stereotype of most like kids that was in like a poor community, and I didn't have those stereotypes. I think I was well overeducated, but but actually like I had to take a step in when I was in high school, especially in 10th grade year, when I found out that like, hey, it's okay to be not normal. You don't have to fit in. And in middle school, I always like was taught to like fit in. So being able to explore that out and not do it anymore, it's like a huge change for me.
Wow. Is it more freeing for you?
It is more freeing, actually. I
Yeah.
love being myself. It was very tiring trying to fit the social norms.
Whew.
So being able to like not do that, it's more freer, and I have like actual true people that care about me. So it's fun.
Do you find that in people your friends and your peers, you said middle school was when you were trying to fit in the most. 10th grade, you realize I don't have to fit in, and now you're freer in your skin. Is that how long do you feel like it takes, or is takes other people that you see? Do you feel like a lot of your friends are still trying to figure that out, or they've kind of gotten that way too about this time, or like what are you seeing as far as your peer group, as far as that journey for them?
I think they're trying to still figure it out.
Yeah.
I think people need to be more self-aware. I think it's because I'm more self-aware about how I feel and like what I'm doing. I think when people actually get the time to actually like realize what they're doing and take accountability for the stuff that that's not really them, I think it'll be a great impact. Yeah.
Why was the journey different for you? What made the difference? What made you more self-aware? Like why do you feel like that's your story and not a lot of other people's around you?
Because even though I tried to fit the social norms, I was still different. Like the stuff that I did, I was still different. And I had to like realize that like no matter what I do, I'm just going to be Tanaya. I'm not going to be a Rebecca or a Lindsay or any other people or person. It's just me.
Yeah. And you're just figuring out who you figured out in 10th grade, I'm not like y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It sounds like though a lot of people struggle with the second part. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
How did you get to the place where you were not just understanding that you were different, but understanding and just saying like, and I'm okay with that? Like, how did you get there?
Well, that's a good question. I like actually have no clue. um, I think me surrounding myself with people that
Mm,
cares about me and still like me for who I am. I think that was like a huge key. Like me doing like the after school program like Angel Street, and then me doing clubs in high school and doing theater, and actually uh finding new friends and real friends. I think
mm,
that's what made me realize that it's okay to be different. I love being myself.
mm. So community has made the difference
Yes,
in that.
a huge.
Um, huge difference, huh?
Mhm.
Is do you feel like community is hard for your generation?
It depends.
Okay, on what?
It depends. Um, I feel like a lot of Gen Zers are very different when it comes to things. For community, for me, I was kind of born in it, but I was born in it, but
Sure.
yeah. But I think for Gen Zers, I would say kind of. Actually, yeah, I would say kind of.
Okay.
It yeah, it's hard to be in a community, but at the same time, no, actually, that's a hard question. I'm sorry.
It's a hard question. I think a lot of like when we were one of the things I've heard a lot from particularly girls in their 14, 15, 16 when talking to them it's like I want to do this program because I don't really talk to anybody. I don't really have any friends. Like I need to get
Yeah,
to know more people.
yeah.
That's like a common thing. And it's like
Mhm.
why is that? And it's like I don't really do anything. I just go home and I don't really do anything, right? Is this something? I mean, am I off? Like, is this something that you
No,
hear or
you're right. You're right.
that you know to be true? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just why like why is that? Why do you think that is? Why do people why is it that there is not a desire, or maybe the desire comes later to really like connect with people?
I think it's because of the nervousness. I
Mm,
think being shy. I was very shy and I didn't want to talk to people. I was kind of like by
okay.
myself. But
Hmm.
FOMO happened. But like fear
Yeah.
of missing out, that's what made me want to like have friends. Like I didn't
Okay.
want it to be I wanted to be like, oh, I wanted to be the teenagers that are in the movies. I don't want to be just stuck home. So I
You
I did that. Yeah.
what movie were you wanting to be like?
High School
High
Musical.
School Musical. I knew you was
Yeah.
gonna say that. Golly, High School Musical. Y'all love some High School Musical. Yeah. That's really interesting. So, kind of in that same vein, you said shy, make just not. What are and you said like the fear of missing out is real. Um, what other fears or pressures do you feel like your generation has to deal with,
Not
or do
fitting
you
in.
deal with not
Oh,
fitting in?
I dealt with. Yeah, not fitting
Mhm.
in. Or again, like I like trying to figure yourself out. I mean, we're teenagers. We don't know what we're doing.
Mm,
And we haven't like matured enough to like understand what we're doing.
mm,
We're just kind of like going with the flow of things.
mm.
And I think us being scared of like what the future has for us, that's where the challenge is at right now. I've talked to like a lot of my friends and like people, especially like older people, about like even you. I talked to you about these things. That like I'm actually like we're actually scared of what would happen in the future. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what will happen. I mean, no one knows, but it's more scarier because I'm actually in the real world. Like this is my first time being in the real world.
Yeah. And it's
Mhm.
scary.
It is
Yeah.
scary.
It's scary. What scares you the most about it? The unknown? Is it not being prepared for it? Is it like what is it?
Being prepared, not being prepared for
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Like I'm
Okay.
used to knowing a lot of things and
Mhm.
like
Mm-hmm.
They don't actually teach you in high school about the real world. That's like the sad part about it. So it's like it's like I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to pay taxes. I don't know how to do none of this. I don't know how to budget.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know how to. You taught me how to budget, but
Well, but you've never done it. You haven't done it in real time yet.
Yeah, I haven't done it in real time yet.
Right. Yeah, that's real. This is so interesting. You've mentioned taxes twice, and I find that to be hysterical. Like, I feel like taxes is like something that's on
It's
your
the
mind.
most scariest thing ever. I'm scared of taxes. I don't like money at all. And I heard
You got to learn to like money.
stories. I've heard so many stories when it comes to like people going to jail for not doing their taxes, and I'm like, what if I forget to do my taxes? I don't know how that works.
Oh no!
What if I forget
Oh no!
I don't want that to happen to me.
That's actually it's a fair thought. Like, I know at some point I have probably felt those things. Like, what if I turn them in late, or like, what if I do them wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real stuff. Like, that's real. I mean, shoot, even sometimes a day I'd be like, oh, I don't know the answer to this question. But you have to, like, I think this important for us to remember, like, yeah, like, you're 18. And you said something really important earlier. We don't know what we're doing. Like, we don't know what we're doing. What is it that what do you wish you learned from adults outside of academics in school? Like, throw that away. What is it that you wish you learned from adults at an earlier age to prepare you for life right now?
I wish I've learned that everything took time. Like, everything takes time. It's really important to like be patient because everything is not. And then also on top of that, like, always have like a plan A and plan B. My mom taught me that, but I really didn't listen because again, I'm a teenager.
Sure.
Yeah. But have a plan A and plan B. I think it's really important because you will never know what happened. And something that you actually taught me at a older age is to like always be prepared and always like, even though what you do, like what you want to do and it doesn't go your way, you always have to have another plan so you can figure it out. So there's no such thing as this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's a big takeaway that I took from having a conversation with you that I wish I learned earlier when I was in high school.
I think that's big. I think that's really important. I think that the thing, I'm gonna ask you to kind of do a deep dive into the world of an 18-year-old. And what I mean by that is, if an adult was a fly on the wall with a group of 10, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, what are they going to hear, see? What's going to surprise them and shock them? And what is going to surprise and shock them? What is something that they're going to be like, I had no idea. I want you to answer that. But first, I would love for you to, because I think one of the things that you've been alluding to is having the benefit of adults in your life that you have learned from. What makes an adult easy to learn from?
I think I was just gonna say this is gonna sound so weird, but them being older, like y'all experienced this before. I haven't. This is my first time. So having a conversation with an adult that experienced this before, it can kind of like get me more ease. Like it won't be less stressful because I already know someone that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about adults? And maybe what that's not what I'm trying to say. what about what makes an adult easy to talk to?
Easy to talk to?
Yeah, like what characteristics? Like, because I think a lot of it can be intimidating on both ends for adults to communicate with young people and for young people to communicate with adults, right? So, but I think because we're older and there, the people who are older, I think bear the burden of making sure that the connection is there. So, how do you how would you advise older adults to approach or be approachable for young people so that they can have the benefit of connection and learn from them?
Oh, that's a question. I'm like, I was gonna say don't sugarcoat things. So like I want you to like be nice. Of course
Yeah.
you're approachable. Of course you're approachable. Like I feel like knowing that okay, it's so hard to explain. But as like a younger person, knowing that I have a mentor or a person that is there for me, it makes them more approachable. I don't want the person that is like I'm connected to sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
Because if you sugarcoat things, I'm still gonna be like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. In reality, it's not gonna happen. Just like be real with me and tell me like how it actually is so I can actually be prepared. It's all about preparedness.
That's real, man. You think we were just you and I we just did a conversation with a bunch of new teachers, right? At a class, a college classroom. Look, you already talking to college students, man. Look, you going somewhere. But one of the things that we talked about there was like tell young people the truth, right? Like you need to it's important to tell folks the truth. And
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like there's been do you feel like there's been moments in your life where you do feel like you were lied to, or lied might be a strong word, but you weren't told the whole truth, or it was colored in a way that's like it was colored up, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's an example of that for you?
An example. Oh wow.
What did you have
Um
to unlearn that somebody taught you that you were like, that's not even right?
oh. Oh, the financial things. Having
Mm.
a credit card. Like
Ooh.
yeah, I know, right? Having a credit card. I don't have a credit card now, but like someone
Amen.
had to like actually say something like to me about it. But like my teacher, he was like, having a credit card is going to be very hard, but if you want to like get a house and get an apartment or get a car, make sure you do these steps so you can have good credit. In reality, that's not true. It's not true at all. It was like make sure you put put like stuff that like bills that you pay for that you normally pay for on a credit card so you can get good credit because you're technically paying for it. And I'm like, no, please, no, that's not true.
That's not
I
true.
see your face. I see your face. It's like,
Oh no.
yeah,
Well, because that stuff like that, it grinds. It's like, no, don't tell people that. Please don't tell people that. That's
yeah,
not true. Um, that's a great example because again, the sugarcoating, like the reality is what he's saying. Do people do that? Yes. Do people like do people get those things by doing it that way? Yes. But the other side of that truth is they get so deep into debt that you can't live.
right,
It's like
yeah,
you have the car, you have the house, you have the things you want because your credit score is high, but then you can't do what you really want to do. You're stuck. And you got to pay
yeah,
all these people back. So like to your point, it's a great example of tell me both sides. Like don't just tell me this, like tell me all of it, right? Um
yeah,
okay, so I want to pivot to this is something that I really I you and I we've had so many conversations, and we were in the car and I was just kind of asking you about certain things I've heard about, but But I was like, is this really a thing? And you're like, it's absolutely a thing. So I would love for you to educate a little bit. I read a book. It's an older book, and I'm blanking on the name right now. But essentially, it talked about like the underworld of teenagers, and how there is a world that teens don't let adults in. They're just not. You're never gonna know what's really going on. And I would love for you to give a sneak peek, give a trailer to a movie, right? If you wanted to get adults to come see a movie about the underworld of teenagers, what would be in the trailer that you want them to know?
Oh wow. Um, I think. Ooh, that's so hard. I I honestly think a trailer. Okay, trailer. Um, like friendship, love, like love life.
All of it. There's
Never.
no.
I would never want my mom to know about my love life or would I have troubles with my friends. I'd rather
Mm,
keep that to myself.
okay. Okay. All right. What about love life and friends would be something that older adults would not necessarily expect for teens to go through, particularly teens in your generation?
Um. Oh wow. I was like, they're more. We're actually like very sensitive.
Oh,
I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. But um, I think yeah, like we're actually like more sensitive than other people think. I think
mm,
it's because we show more emotion, but we don't show it out as much because I think we're put into a society that it's weird to show off emotion.
mm.
So us like being by ourselves, showing that emotion and not telling other people about it, I think that's what makes a huge deal breaker. I know like multiple times when my mom saw me like visibly upset, but I didn't say anything. I was like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine." In reality, I'm not. I mean, she knows me very well, but it's like I don't want to talk about it because um I don't feel like I'm like comfortable enough to like actually tell you because I felt like
Mm.
you don't understand. You wouldn't understand.
And but you talk about it with your peers.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And you all are gonna figure it out in a
together.
way that together.
Yeah.
Yeah. um what is all right, let's go to different things right now about your generation that you think are are truly different, like than other generations. What can you say, like, hey, this is something that we go through that generations before us just did not have to really deal with?
Cancel culture.
Man,
It's
interesting.
wow. It's horrible. Cancel culture, and we put ourselves in that situation. It's like
Mm,
our generation is too sensitive for things, and we don't understand that like people are human. Like you're sending like hateful things.
mm,
You have to realize that like they're human too. Like
yeah.
you sending hate, it doesn't define it doesn't define that you're a good person. It doesn't make you a good person.
Hmm.
It still makes you, you know, it still makes you you, but it won't make you a good of a person if you're sending hate because that person did something.
That's what's the last let's who's the last person that was canceled that you don't think it was fair that they were canceled?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Have you watched Love Island?
You know I haven't. You know I have never seen that.
Okay, Love Island is a reality TV show that
Mhm.
is uh based on people finding love. It's in the name. And they're on this island. They're in Fiji trying to figure things out, trying to explore connections.
Okay.
This one particular person, her name is Huda. She's getting a lot of hate right now.
Really?
People are calling her a crash out because of how she responded to somebody. I won't say like basically love bombing her, but like being a little different. And a lot of people are hating that. A lot of people like my generation. This is what I don't like about my generation. But like a lot of people sent hate to her. They like called CPS on her. They like and then on top of that, it's like they go to the extreme. Like if they don't like a person,
Mm-hmm.
they'll do like more than that. There's like instance where people got CPS called on them. People got ICE called on them when they're like actually like they're actually like born in America. They're just a different race. Like there's like stuff like that happens that like cancel culture cause. And it's like people don't actually see it until like you actually like live it. So it's really bad. And then they also like send like bad like threats to people that they don't like. And it's like there's no reason for you to do that. They're actual real people.
My understanding of like the way cancel culture started is people making an attempt to call out bad behavior from people who we know and love and have like, become famous for certain things, whatever. But it's like something came up from their past and it was wrong, genuine wrong things, right?
Yeah.
Saying the N word, doing something inappropriate with women, truly bad things. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like they did these things, so everything else that they've ever done, we cancel it. They forget it. It doesn't matter. You've done these horrible things in your past, so all the things you're doing right now don't matter anymore. And we decided we're gonna get rid of you, right? And that's the idea of this cancel culture. And it's like an attempt to right a wrong in a wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you feel like your generation, I think the beautiful thing about younger generations, we all have this what's the word I'm looking for? Energy, this, we are zealous in a way, like, we're all about whatever we're all about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a cool thing. That's a great thing. You need that. What do you think it's going to take to kind of balance this a little bit, right? Because people's lives have really been, ruined forever. And I'm not sure that that's fair, right? But your generation, you're right. Like cancel culture is real and it's very prevalent and it's still prevalent and it's getting worse. It seems like, I don't know. You feel like it's getting worse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Much.
Like, so what would you say would be a solution to that?
Good question. I think I think that that's actually a good question. Oh my gosh. I think it would I think something that would fix it is when actually Gen Z people realize that people are human too.
Mm.
And things happen. Not saying that like they don't have they can like forget about the bad things that people did, but don't take it a notch. Just like be like, hey, that was bad. You should take accountability for this and then apologize.
Yeah.
Not like actually like send like death threats or like doxing people. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. Just be like, hey, you did this. Take accountability and say sorry and apologize to the community that you hurt.
Mm.
there's no sense or there's no need for people to dox people or like send threats to people.
Yeah.
And harm other people's family because you don't simply like the stuff that they did. We have to realize that mistakes happen and we're all human. We just have to take accountability for what we did. Yeah.
What do you think what's something that adults assume about Gen Z that's not true?
That we're lazy.
You sure? I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes
I'm positive.
you positive? Because sometimes I don't know. I've been thinking I think that sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. Why do you say that? Like what? Okay, back it up.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna be like such a bad example. But example. My mom, she'll say that like, oh, you forgot to clean up downstairs, and she doesn't even look. She doesn't even look. She just goes upstairs. She's tired from work. She doesn't look around. So she'd be like, oh, don't forget to take out the trash. And I'm like, oh, it's already done. And then she like sees like when I get done cleaning up, like I clean up my room, it like helps me like it keeps me peace when I clean up my room. So when she sees one sock on the floor that I forgot to pick up, she'll be like, oh, you're so lazy. And I'm like, no, I just forgot to pick it up. Like, give me credit at least. Give me credit.
That's fantastic. That's great. Yeah, all right, I get that. That's fair. And sometimes parents can go overboard with that. But you said something. You said, she's frustrated or not frustrated, she's tired, right? Tired from work. So that makes sense. What other reasons outside of parents, like, and what other reasons would you say like it's important, like we're not lazy? Give me some other examples. How would you prove that out in an argument? Because I got some examples and I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not really much of a debater. I think the job industry, I'll say. We had this conversation before. A lot of Gen Z people are not getting hired for the job that they should work at, like the movie theaters or a grocery store and stuff like that, because we're simply just young, and they don't know the potential that we actually have. You would never know that I actually, one of my values are actually teamwork. You wouldn't know that unless you actually know me. But if you see me like roundabout, you'd be like, oh, she's quiet, da, da, da. And it's like, no, it's not true. I'm actually like very outgoing. I like talking to people. I'm actually really nice. Like things like that. You couldn't tell by a person. You only making an assumption based on how they look. You're not really thinking about the personality that they have. And I think when it comes to like jobs and stuff, having someone older, you will think that like they're more wiser. They know how to do things. Except for like a Gen Z person who just got into the real world and not knowing what they do. Or you think, oh, they always be on their phone and they wouldn't do nothing. In reality, people are not like that. And some Gen Z are actually very productive.
Yeah.
They actually touch grass. They actually touch grass. We don't be on the phone.
You're not always, that's, you know what? And I think that's another, you're not always on your phones. That is very true. Ooh, but I'm telling you, boy, I'd be seeing some and it's like, yo, like you gotta chill. You gotta chill. Like it's okay. It won't kill you to let it go. But everybody's not like that, right?
Yeah.
I think that is important. And I do think that is something that adults have to unlearn about Gen Z, that you're not always on your phone. I was just having another conversation with somebody, and what she was saying, she bought her alarm clock. She bought a real alarm clock for the first time. And so she doesn't use the alarm on her phone because she's like, I don't even want it by me anymore. Like I have to get rid of it. And so she bought a real alarm clock, and it's like she's 24. So she's out here. She's like, I'm not trying to be around my phone all the time. What's another assumption that people make about Gen Z that's not true, in your opinion?
Ooh.
They're lazy. They always want to be on their phones. These are not necessarily true. What's something else?
They were not productive.
Mm.
I'm always productive. You know me.
You are. I can say that.
I want to do things. I don't want to be at home all the time.
Yeah.
I actually like picked up hobbies that I would never thought I would do, like crocheting.
Damn.
I would never expect for me to crochet. I had to like honestly I had to like be like, oh, I don't want to be on my phone a lot of times, or I just want to do something productive with my life. If I'm sitting at home and I don't have my phone near me, I'm just gonna like crochet and just listen to music, or like even in silence, be in silence and like crochet. Some Gen Z kids, they like books. They like to read books all the time to like be more productive. I like to go out with like friends or like help around. A big thing that I did when I was in when senior year, I volunteered a lot because I wanted to stay productive. I wanted to do something. I wanted to get on my feet. I didn't want to sit down and lay around all day.
That's you. I think you really just help some people, because let's be honest, we, myself included, we definitely have put that stereotype on y'all. Like they don't want to do nothing. They just want to be on their phones. They lazy. They they don't they don't be outside. Y'all just go outside and play. Y'all do be outside. like you be outside too. And I think that's really helpful for people to know, like, now maybe some are that way, but all are not like that. And I think it's like, hey, give them a chance. Give them a chance to prove you wrong. And to actually prove like it's not the way you think it is. It's a different, it's a different, different understanding. I want to go back to the identity thing real quick, because I think this would help. And I think a lot of older people have a lot of questions about the identity struggle. And you mentioned it earlier in the conversation about how a lot of the struggle is because you see a lot of stuff on social media, and it's like, maybe I'm supposed to be like this, maybe I'm supposed to be like that, maybe I'm supposed to be like this. And you're having to kind of wrestle with that in your brain. How have you seen no, let me reverse that. What do you think is one of the most important things for both most important ways that adults can support teenagers in figuring out their identity?
That's a good question. I honestly don't have a clue. I don't know.
I love that answer.
Wait, ask the question again.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
How can adults support teenagers as they find their identity?
I think one is having those hard conversations. I think honestly, people need to take a step back and realize that like how like how the brain like can like trick you in so many ways.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like, yeah, having those hard conversations, actually having a conversation and being like, oh, how are you feeling? How this is, that half of that stuff is not true, right? There's like so many times that I compare myself to people that I see on social media because of like the fear of missing out, and the standards that's in society, and it's like I don't know if I should be that way because they're getting a lot of attention
Mhm.
because they're that way, but you see like a bunch of you see 1,000 people being the same way,
Mhm.
and it's it kind of makes you think if you should be that way because it's popular, not because you like it, but because it's popular. And I think having those conversations with your kids will like be a huge thing for them. Like also like supporting them in many ways, being
Mm.
like, oh hey, like even if you don't like it, because
Yeah.
a lot of generations think differently. Um, be just supporting them in any way, any cause, it will make them, you know. I don't know if I'm answering your question or not.
You are answering my question. I wanna dive a little deeper. You said so what is out there or has been out there during your journey of growing up that has had its popular or trendy moments that you've seen a lot of people in your generation connect and a false identity to, we'll say it like that. And that also might be hard for parents to talk about.
Yeah. Honestly,
Or other adults, not just parents, but older adults.
yeah. Honestly, I think I've seen like during especially like during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like aesthetics,
Mm.
the way like you present yourself, then also religion was like
Mm.
one of like the biggest thing ever. I've
Mm.
seen like a lot of like people that are Christian convert to spirituality,
Mm.
not knowing what they're doing. They just did it because it was popular
Mm.
and they thought it was cool because other people was also doing it. And it was very popular at the time to own rocks and
Mm.
eagle eyes and stuff like that,
Mm.
not knowing this the history behind those things.
Mm.
And then when it comes to aesthetics, it's like they I feel like a lot of my generation, they're like more so when it comes to aesthetics, they don't do it because they fit it. They do it because it's popularized.
Okay.
Like a lot of things like also like the dark aesthetic, like goth. A lot of Gen Z people would do that because it's getting attention. They wouldn't do it
Mm.
because they actually like it. Yeah.
Keep going. What else can you think of? This is good. This is real. I think this is going to help people. What
What
else?
else
What
is
other
good?
some trends that are like people have to unlearn is really a really real for people for a lot. Like it might be for some, but for most, sometimes it just is a phase that they're having to kind of work. Like I wouldn't say work through, but just like pass through. Like, hey, this is just part of it. And what are some other examples? You said aesthetics, religion. I think that's big. Yeah.
Dang. I was gonna say even like sexuality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like sexuality and gender.
Mm, yep.
Like you wouldn't you people think it's popular. In reality it's, I mean, unless you want to like explore that out more, I understand that. But just doing it because people are
Mm,
getting attention for it, that's what makes it a difference. I've seen like a lot of people that like like they didn't even explore it. They just been like, "Oh, I'm this," and I'm like, "How did how did you find out that you was that?"
yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I just saw it online." Oh my gosh,
Mm,
I have a story for you.
okay, let's
I
go.
I was on the phone. I was on the phone with my friend. He's a boy,
Uh-huh.
and on social media, he was getting like a lot of like LGBTQ content, and it was like saying like, oh, if you do these things, then that means you're homosexual. And and then he called me. He was like, Tanaya, I think I'm a homosexual. And I'm like, how do you know that? And he was like, because you told me. And I was like, do you like boys? And it was like, no, ew, no. Like us now. But I'm like, you're not homosexual. You're not. You're
Like,
not.
because TikTok told me.
Yeah, that was like literally the phrase that he said, and I'm like, dude, you never talked to a boy not once when I was when I was friends with you. And I've been friends with you for like 5 years. You
Like,
never talked to a boy yet once.
but is that okay? Is that story fairly common for people? Like, not necessarily for that same like topic, but for like, because TikTok said it. This must be what I am, or
Yeah, especially for the younger community. Yes, the younger Gen Z folks. Yes.
man, that's scary. Honestly, like if I'm being like,
Yeah.
that's scary. And then you go and then you just live out those things that you don't even really want to do. Like,
Yeah.
that's not even really who you are. How did so talk a little bit about your relationship with God as a person in this generation, because I know that's been a journey for you, and like,
Mhm.
you know, yeah, I know it's been a journey for you, and I don't want to put would you say that having a relationship with God has helped you with understanding who you are a little bit more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about that. Why? Like, how's that helped?
Um. Honestly, I've been in like so many situations where I honestly had him just. I just had to say like, oh, just let him
Mm,
take the wheel, and guide me to like an actual safe place.
mm,
There's a lot of like instances where he did, and it honestly, I didn't think that he was actually guiding me to the right place. I just thought he was making it worse. But I had to
wow.
realize that like it had to like they had to make me show who I actually am and
Mm,
actually know my worth. I
mm,
didn't know my worth at the time. I didn't know if I was this big of a person. I didn't
mm,
know that. I always looked down on myself, and being able for him to like take the wheel and be like, you're actually worth something. You have a
mm,
purpose. That would make like a big change about how I feel
mm,
about him and like everything else that's been happening in my life. I had to be grateful for what I had because I didn't know I was I had such a amazing life. Even though there's no such thing as being perfect, even though it's not perfect, it's still a life to live.
mm.
And it's good to like actually understand that and have that mentality now since then. Yeah.
That's honestly beautiful. How would you so I we're gonna have to stop this conversation because I could ask you questions all day, and you know this because we be riding around the car and I'll be asking questions all day. um so as we wrap it up, tell me what makes you hopeful about your generation, and for those older adults who don't have as much hope. They're like, I think we're in trouble. How would you encourage them about your generation?
Honestly, I feel like people need to realize that like Gen Z, we're actually a good community. Like we're
Mm,
actually a good community. We come together for things. And I
mm,
think it's because we're younger. Like we see the troubles, we see how America is, we see how everything is around the world. We understand that and we try to do so much things to make it better.
Mm.
And I think people need to like actually like see that a lot of Gen Z, they did protests. They even like tried to educate people that are that are not very much educated on a situation. And being able to actually have a generation like that, it should be very hopeful to know that like our future is going to be good. We know how we know the issues, and we're trying to solve it the best way we can. We want our voices to be heard. We don't want to be closed off. We want our voices to be heard. We want to be loud enough for bigger power to hear. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love that. And I agree. I think I love that you said we know how to come together. I think that's very powerful. And that's a very powerful trait for a generation. Like, we know how to come together. We know how to rally, and we know how to be loud for the things that are important. And we're going to be out here doing that. And a lot of people are too scared to do it. But I think your generation has also, in a lot of ways, I've seen it, like, created less fear in older people to do things.
Mhm.
And I think that's beautiful. Man, that's good. Okay. All right. Last thing. If you had one other thing maybe that wasn't said, or that you want to like double down on, what is it that you want people to unlearn about your generation?
We don't fit the social norms because we want to be different. We realize that it's okay to be different. A lot of Gen Z people are not trying to fit the social norm. So if you see a person that doesn't look like a model or a perfect person, it's because they want to be different and they know that they're different, and that's what makes them perfect. Yeah.
Come on, bars. I liked it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Tanaya, for coming on the show.
No problem. It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Okay, this is your first podcast, yes?
Yeah.
Look at you. You couldn't even tell. You were so comfortable. I didn't even know.
Really?
I wasn't even sure. It's perfect.
I was nervous.
You had no reason to be nervous, man. This was great. All right, y'all. Well, thank you again for listening. And we will be back. But until then, let's keep unlearning together so that we can experience more freedom. Peace.